the original body style version of the Acura NSX from the early 2000s is exploding in value. And this article from the Robb Report says it very well. Most well-engineered, fastidiously built sports car of the early 2000s. And they go on to describe why it was a groundbreaking car. It was an exclusive sports car, only sold by Acura dealers, even though it was made by Honda. The Honda dealers didn't have them. They created a new franchise model of Acura, which extended into many other vehicles, but the NSX was a tremendous example of that. The NSX still retains the qualities that made it such a gratifying car to drive back in the day when Porsches still looked like Porsches. And the most exotic thing from Japan was the Supra. The NSX was tremendously different. It had the aluminum body and the mid-engine. And even now, the values are skyrocketing. And prolific blogger and video producer Doug DeMoro talks about why they're skyrocketing in price. He has an example of a low mileage version on his auction site, Cars and Bids, that's at $68,000, and he talks about why the values have been skyrocketing, surpassing even the Ferraris it was originally pitted against. And here's the reason why: you have a 20-year-old Acura NSX. It's still going to be 20 years old. It's still going to need some maintenance, and it still needs some things repaired, but much less so than a Ferrari, which, a valve adjustment on a Ferrari might need to be done every couple months, and that could be a couple $1,000s, where an Acura is going to be more reliable, like a Honda. And these vehicles are still very timeless in terms of their design. You can see this one here, how the lines and the design still look acceptable in today's market. Not a brand new car, but it still looks reasonable in terms of how it appears on the road. And Doug even gets into the history, why it was a new venture for Honda at the time. They only made small economical cars that were reliable. What they did was they took that reliability and applied it to what was then the version of a supercar, which even to this day the new NSXs are just as supercar. It only had 250 horsepower, but it was very, very light, which made it quick, and it made it reliable. And there's some performance upgrades that you can put into this car that make it even more powerful than that. So this is a couple good examples of why the values are increasing. The Robb Report had a good article, and this Doug DeMoro piece talks about how it fits into the marketplace and makes it a very desirable classic car for an investor to buy and even use as an everyday driver.